Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel. Wait, what if the distance between Jimin and Jungkook wasn't just close, but literally zero? Fans just discovered clues that could mean they were in the exact same place at the exact same time, and the evidence is raising some very big questions. Did they actually spend the night together? Let's break down everything you need to see. The internet has once again exploded with speculation after fans noticed a series of clues that seem to point to something almost unbelievable. The distance between Jimin and Jungkook at a certain moment appeared to be literally zero. And for many observers, that single realization sparked a massive question. Were they actually together? At the same place? At the same time? The discussion started quietly, as it often does in fandom spaces, with screenshots, timestamps, and tiny background details that only the most attentive fans would normally notice. It all began when a new update surfaced that seemed harmless at first glance. Jimin shared content that appeared to show him indoors, relaxed, comfortable, and clearly in a private environment rather than a public schedule location. Normally, this would not be unusual, but fans quickly began comparing the visual details to previous glimpses of Jungkook's home environment that had been seen in past live streams and content. The similarities were striking. Furniture placement, lighting tones, architectural lines, and even minor decorative elements appeared nearly identical. Within minutes, side-by-side comparisons began circulating online. Some people dismissed it as coincidence, but others noticed something more compelling: the timing. The timestamp suggested that the window between Jungkook's last known activity and Jimin's post was extremely small. So small, in fact, that the possibility of travel between two different locations seemed unrealistic. That's when the phrase "distance zero" began trending among fans. It wasn't meant literally in a technical sense, but symbolically implying there may have been no distance between them at all because they were in the same place. Once that interpretation took hold, the conversation shifted dramatically. Instead of asking whether they were nearby, people started asking whether they were together in the same home. What fueled the speculation even more was the emotional tone perceived in their recent interactions. Over the years, fans of BTS have witnessed countless moments between the two that feel deeply personal, from subtle gestures on stage to supportive comments during broadcasts. Many observers believe their bond goes beyond simple friendship, while others emphasize that close friendship itself can explain everything. But regardless of interpretation, the intensity of their connection is undeniable. So when new evidence appears that suggests proximity, the reaction is always immediate and passionate. Another detail that caught attention was body language. In the new content, Jimin seemed unusually relaxed, almost as if he were in a familiar and safe environment rather than somewhere temporary. Fans pointed out how people often behave differently when they are visiting someone they are close to compared to being alone. Small cues such as posture, facial expression, and tone of voice became subjects of analysis. Some viewers argued that he looked like someone who had just woken up or was spending quiet personal time rather than preparing for public activity. That interpretation added another layer to the speculation, the idea that they might not only have been together, but possibly spending extended time in the same space. Of course, speculation in fandom culture often grows quickly because of pattern recognition. Humans naturally look for connections, and when previous narratives exist, new information easily fits into them. Jimin and Jungkook have shared many moments throughout their careers that fans consider meaningful, from training days as teenagers to global superstardom. Their journey together creates a narrative continuity that makes any new coincidence feel like confirmation of something deeper. Whether or not that perception reflects reality is another question entirely, but emotionally, it resonates with people. There is also the factor of mystery. Neither Jimin nor Jungkook explicitly explained the context of the situation, which left space for imagination. Silence often amplifies curiosity more than clarification would. When public figures share partial glimpses of their lives without full explanations, audiences naturally attempt to fill the gaps. In this case, the gap happened to align perfectly with an existing fan theory, so the reaction multiplied. The phrase "they slept together" began appearing not necessarily as a literal claim, but as an exaggerated expression of how close fans believed they might have been at that moment.
역시 그런 것 같은데요? 이 모든 건 우연이 아니야.
Interestingly, some fans approached the situation from a logistical angle rather than an emotional one. They examined geographic possibilities, travel times, schedules, and prior known locations. Their conclusion was that the simplest explanation might indeed be that Jimin was already at Jungkook's place. Occam's razor, the idea that the simplest explanation is often correct, became part of the discussion. Others countered that similar interior designs and lighting conditions could easily create false matches. The debate itself became entertainment, with each side presenting arguments like investigators solving a mystery. What makes moments like this powerful is not necessarily whether the theory is true, but what it represents. For many fans, the idea that two people who have grown up together in the industry might still rely on each other for comfort and companionship feels reassuring. It humanizes celebrities who often appear larger than life. The possibility that they spend ordinary time together watching movies, talking late into the night, sharing meals creates a sense of relatability that audiences crave. In a world where idols are often perceived through carefully managed images, glimpses of authentic connection feel precious. Another aspect worth considering is timing within their careers. Periods of transition, rest, or personal reflection often lead artists to reconnect with trusted friends. Fans speculated that this could be one of those moments, a time when being together offered emotional grounding. Whether the interpretation is accurate or not, the emotional narrative resonates because it aligns with how people experience relationships in their own lives. Some observers also pointed out that both individuals have previously emphasized the importance of friendship and support systems. When artists openly discuss relying on each other during difficult times, audiences remember those statements. So when new clues appear suggesting proximity, those memories reinforce the interpretation that they naturally spend time together privately. Over time, these layered memories create a strong framework that shapes how fans interpret new information. At the same time, there is an important reminder that public perception does not equal private reality. Photographs, videos, and timestamps provide fragments, not complete stories. The truth could be simple, complex, or entirely unrelated to the theories circulating online. But speculation persists because uncertainty invites imagination, and imagination fuels engagement. The phrase "Jimin made it clear" emerged because some fans felt the clues were too obvious to ignore. They interpreted the similarities and timing as intentional hints rather than coincidences. Whether that belief is justified remains unknown, but the perception itself demonstrates how deeply audiences analyze every detail connected to their favorite artists. In the digital era, even the smallest background object can become evidence in a global conversation. Ultimately, what this situation reveals most is the strength of fan culture and the emotional investment people have in the relationships they observe. The possibility that the distance between them was zero physically or metaphorically symbolizes closeness, trust, and continuity. Whether they were actually together in the same home, spending the night, or simply coincidentally sharing similar environments, the moment succeeded in capturing worldwide attention. And perhaps that is the most fascinating part. Two individuals sharing a quiet moment somewhere in the world, private, ordinary, and unseen, can still create waves of excitement across millions of people. It speaks to the power of connection, storytelling, and the enduring curiosity surrounding relationships that feel genuine. Until more information emerges, the question will remain open, fueling discussion, theories, and endless analysis. But one thing is certain. The idea that the distance between them might have been zero has already become another unforgettable chapter in the ongoing story fans love to follow. Before we wrap up, what do you think about this situation? Was this just another coincidence that fans connected together? Or do you believe there was really zero distance between them at that moment? I'd love to hear your thoughts, theories, and observations in the comments below, because the discussion is honestly one of the best parts of this community. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more updates, clues, and fan theories, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me continue bringing you the latest stories and analysis. Also, turn on notifications so you never miss the next upload, because you know things can change fast and new details can appear at any time. Thank you so much for watching and spending your time here. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.